Mm. All right, there we go. Okay, welcome to Raising Strong-Willed Kids Summit, and it's for parenting with ease, confidence, and connection. And I'm your host. I'm Andrea Milioti, and today's guest is Jessica Gonzalez. And Jessica has grew up with a younger sister who has autism. And also, I know that you had to grow up pretty fast, huh? Which was pretty, well, it was a good thing. It was a good thing for you succeeding in life, I'm sure. So, welcome, Jessica. I'm just going to let you fill in a little bit about yourself, including the book I know that you wrote.
Yes. Thank you so much. My name is Jessica Gonzalez. I was born and raised in New York City my whole life. I was born to a Puerto Rican mother, a Dominican dad at a very young age. My parents had me at 18. So obviously that brought some challenges on its own, especially having young parents, but also being able to kind of relate to your parents in that you kind of see adults in a more human way when they mess up. I also, have a little sister who was diagnosed with autism when she hit a year old, when she wasn't reaching the motor skills stepping stones that we needed her to make. It very much became a concern. So then when we saw a neurologist, they eventually did confirm that she had autism. So that itself was something to learn about in 2004, so very early in the 2000s, when it wasn't very big, or people really didn't know that much about autism.
Right, yeah.
But really remarkable how far we have come in 2021, where we're starting to see people kind of understand that people have disabilities and it's okay, and it's all in different shapes and forms. And what matters is that we all treat everyone with the same amount of respect that we would want to be treated with, no matter what and who they are and what their background or their cognitive function is.
I totally agree with that. It doesn't matter. You know what? Especially people, all it is people, it's not, I don't look at it as a disability. I like to look at it as it's just, you know what? It's a different way. Their brains are different. They have a
Yeah,
different
exactly.
way than somebody else. They think differently. They
Absolutely.
go, it's like, and that's, it's like people always look, I don't like to look at it as that disability, because you'd be surprised. I mean, it's so they're smart, they're creative, and you look at so many, so what, like, as growing up, like with your sister, like what would you say a lot of the social demands were with you, and then having a little sister, and probably helping out so much at home, being that you had young parents to begin with?
Yeah, it definitely was a challenge. I would say in the early years, it was a lot more easier in that when she was, 3 or 4, she had the mentality of just wanting to have fun and be a kid. And I was about like 10 or 11.
Right.
So it was easier in the early years to just kind of be with someone who had this carefree look at life and just want to have fun. And I would say that's kind of one of the best things, is that she still has that at 17 years old now, is
Really?
that she doesn't have this very carefree, the world is a great place kind of attitude to her. And I think that's also one of the things that I learned when I did a book reading, I would say in 2019. I actually met someone who said that they were taught, I think, from one of their grandmothers, that people with autism are the touched ones, and that they're able to see the world in these like rainbow colored eyes and see it in
Mhm.
such a happy manner, because they don't see the destruction, they don't see chaos, they only see people as they are and just wanting to be happy with being alive. And that's kind of something I think you can really take away from people with autism who are like that, who see the world with rose colored eyes and have this, happy-go-lucky demeanor no matter what happens. It's kind of beautiful. I mean, to just always be happy and to always have that mentality of things are always going to be okay. I think that's something I've learned from my sister, is that, no matter what, you still have the people around you who love you, you still have a roof over your head, you still have food in the fridge. Why aren't you happy? So I think that's one of the biggest things I take away is that you really appreciate the small things that you have in life, and you have a reason to smile every day, which is my sister's reason to smile every day. Is I have a mom, I have a dad, I have a sister, I have a great home, I have an iPad that she's addicted to right now at 17.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly. And I would say, in terms of also another thing that I've learned is to be, as she's gotten older, I've learned to be more patient with things, because there are moments that she does say things and then I do get a little confused because I currently study communication science. Certain sounds in the English language can get a little bit difficult for her pronunciation and her cognitive ability. So it's I sometimes need to really focus and zone in on what she's saying, so that way I can really help her or understand something she just wants to tell me, because it doesn't even have to be something she's asking me for or something she needs help with. It could just be her saying that she wants something this day and she wants me to know that she's going to get this thing this day. And it's very nice to kind of have to focus on these kinds of things, because I think with how, I don't know, with how the internet can be, sometimes you don't really listen anymore. And I'd say that's the biggest thing when it comes to social interactions with having a sister with autism, or anyone with autism, or other kind of neurotypical condition, is that you do need to focus way more on what they're saying. And in turn, you actually become a more compassionate listener, which is something I think everyone could use right now. Is you just have the compassion. I want to hear what you're saying, and I'm willing to show you. I'm going to focus in, and I'm going to listen to everything that you're going to tell me right now. So I would say it's been like a blessing in disguise having a little sister with autism who's so smart, sweet, and kind. Has taught me a lot about myself and how to interact with people and how to interact with others in general. So
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. I mean, it really does teach. It teaches you, like you said, to just to see the good, and the, how like they make it so, what, instead of getting stressed out, to teach you, hey, listen, just kind of like breathe, and relax, and they kind of like they teach us a lesson. They really do. I think that's
absolutely.
beautiful. So that's a really good point to bring up. What, like, the book you write, that you wrote, was it Yes, Luna?
It's Luna yes, Luna C. Actually, my
Okay.
bad. I forgot to get it. Be right back.
Okay,
Hold on.
go ahead. No, it's all good.
Sorry, I have had
No,
a
it's all
pretty,
right. Don't worry about it.
my bad. But
Luna, yes, Luna C. That's your sister's name?
my sister's name is actually Lauren, but Luna is a name you can make if you take the letters from my sister's name. You can make the name Luna from that. So I kind of took
Oh,
my name and I took her name. And I was like, okay, let's take our name and let's make a different name. So I made Luna, and my character's name is Cassie. Because if you take Jessica and you just get rid of the J, you can also make the name Cassie, and you get rid of the E. You can make the name Cassie.
I like that. Oh my God. So now what inspired you? Like, what, to write that? Is that to what you're targeting kids with that? That's like a kids friendly book?
Yes, this is very much kid friendly. It
Right.
tries to break down autism in its simplest forms for people to understand, for kids to understand. I've done a few readings with kids, and it's kind of been so beautiful to see how kids are like, yeah, I know what autism is. Or they tell me their stories of their friends that have autism as well. And it's so amazing to see that we're talking about, you can have a friend and they might think a little different, or they might behave a little different, and you can still be friends with them. You also just need to know that sometimes some things may happen and they may need more extra help. I talked to one girl when I did a reading, and she said, if I had a friend with autism and they were overstimulated, I would rub their back and give them some space so that way they can feel better, but know I'm there. And this kid was about 7 years old, and she's telling me this, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is beautiful to see and believe that this is going to be our playgrounds, once things can go back to some kind of normalcy, is that you'll see kids who don't have autism and people who do have autism on the playground, playing together, helping each other, and understanding that, we're all different and sometimes we all need help in different ways. So I would say that it just makes me so proud to know that the book has been able to really help kids start thinking about this. And like, I might need to help a friend who has autism, who might be overstimulated, rub their back, or just be next to them and make sure that they know I'm here, or just try to help them in any way possible. And then also realize that my friend may say things that are different, or their way of communicating with me might be different, and that's perfectly fine. So the story kind of follows Cassie and Luna. It's mainly about their relationship, which is what I want to highlight, is sibling relationships.
Sibling relationship.
Absolutely, because I think in psychology we were taught that your sibling does play a huge role in your development. And since I'm older, I know that I have played a very crucial role in my sister's development. So the main focus is Cassie and Luna. Luna, very much she has her ups and downs, and Cassie is always there to help her. And you kind of see towards the end of the book that even when Cassie's down, because it can be a lot for Cassie at times, Luna's there too at the end of the day. In her own Luna way, she lets herself know that she is still there for Cassie. Because although like some people with autism may not understand emotions, they can still feel things within like the energy that you give out. So that's very much something that I emphasize with Luna, is that she can sense when something's up with Cassie, and she very much comforts her as well. So it's kind of beautiful. I love how the progress has gone. And I mean, it very much has inspired me to want to write more books that also touch upon, fun scenarios with kids. And they happen to, also have maybe be disabled, but just having fun and being kids is a big thing that I think we need to show more of. It's like, these kids having fun going on adventures, and, they happen to, have autism, or they happen to be paraplegic or something along those realms. But they're also kids out there having fun, not letting their disability hold them back or anything. They're still having fun, going on adventures, being kids. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards in the near future. So this is just the introduction to Luna and Cassie, and there's so much more to learn.
Where can people get that book? Where can they? Is it on Amazon or?
Oh yeah, we definitely. I mean, everyone's on Amazon these days.
That's what I figured. Everybody's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, we are on Amazon. If you type in Luna Yes, Luna See, it's one of the first things that pops up. I also do sell through my own website, which is Jess Gonzi. I can also send it in as well. It's my personal website with like my own personal projects I'm working on, articles that I've written. I focus more on communication science and psychology, and all the future events and projects I'll be working on, which is super exciting. And I'm very excited to share it with everyone because this is something I'm very passionate about. I loved making this book. I loved being able to share part of my life with people. And
you can see your passion. Yeah, you can see your passion, and you like it. But now, do you help like actual people with autism, or do you help the siblings? You work with like to help understand like what just to kind of elaborate a little bit more on what you do.
So at the moment right now, before I very much was doing readings with regular kids who are not neurotypical. So just educating them on what happens when you do encounter someone who's neurotypical. It's, they might be different, and, just to understand that it's okay and how you can be a good friend at the end of the day. Because we all want to be, the best version of ourselves possible. And I'm just, teaching kids, rub their back, say I'm here, and it always makes things better. I've had the desire to go to special needs schools, but due to the current pandemic, I've had a lot of issues with that. I have read with my sister and a few people with autism as well, who have more verbal capabilities than my sister. And that went very well too. They very much thought that the book was cute and sweet, and they felt like it was a great way to show one of the sides of autism, because autism comes in so many different forms. That's why we have a spectrum. So they very much enjoyed it. I have been getting in touch with siblings like myself. I recently discovered the Sibling Leadership Network, which I've been working with heavily. And it's a network of siblings here in America who are the not neurotypical sibling to someone who is neurotypical. Oh gosh, I'm mixing up my words. I'm sorry. If
That's
I'm
okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. What is that? What is that network called
the
again?
Sibling Leadership Network.
Oh, interesting.
I discovered it randomly. I don't even know. I don't remember, but I've been working with them very closely right now. Is that they connect siblings who have siblings with disabilities. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be autism. It can be ADHD. It can be Down syndrome, everything, every kind of disability. And we kind of connect with each other, and that, we have our ups, we have our downs, we have our moments where we don't know what to do, and we kind of turn to each other. We have a Facebook group that we are all connected in. So I've been connecting with people like myself who are the sibling recently, which I'm very excited for. I will also be speaking at the Sibling Leadership Conference this June as well. I've gotten very close with the organization. And in the future, I'm also hoping, I'm very much hoping to do a mini like America tour to kind of talk about the book and talk about, the future of Luna and Cassie in the possible series. Because I think that we also need not only education, we need education to be fun is a big thing. So I want to make something fun for people who are both adults and kids to read and also learn something from it. So I've been working with everyone. I think everyone can learn something from this. So I don't exclude anyone. Come in. I'm more than happy to teach you about autism and everything about it.
I think that's beautiful. It's like so much, and they've come such a long way with autism. I have two kids that are older now. My youngest, who's 20, he was diagnosed when he was 7 with ADHD and ODD. So I know my daughter, my older one, she has extreme anxiety and depression. So it's there, and people just I think my whole thing too is like I always said, there's that stigma around. There's a stigma around the autism and the ADHD. People just don't get it. And I think we're learning because more and more now we're learning more. So whereas it's starting to come out now and there's more you can see that we're coming farther with the knowledge and the education, which is good. We're not totally there yet, but we are getting, and I love it. You can see the passion. You can see the passion in you, and I love that. I really love that. That is really amazing. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jessica. What would you want people to get out of today and like their biggest takeaway from today?
I would want them to be open to research, learning, and understanding that someone who may have a disability, it doesn't all come in a one size fits all. People can be disabled. People with autism can be fully capable of having verbal conversations, clear ideas. But they might have some stims, which are, like things that we do to kind of calm ourselves down from anxiety. That might be a little different because when people who are, do not have a disability and do not identify on the autism spectrum, our stims might be, tapping the table or, biting our fingers. Sorry, something just fell in my room. I am very sorry about that.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I was hoping you didn't hear it. My dog is actually making little sounds in the back. Probably because
It's
he
no
wants to go out.
problem.
There's
Yeah,
always something. There's always something. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
especially with everything being a work from home kind of
Hey,
situation. So
listen,
yeah,
that's the downfall. So we all have to be used to it. It's
yeah.
okay.
Everyone getting to know everyone on a more personal level right now.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Mm. Um, so yeah, we might or shake our leg as well. As someone with autism, they might do the hand flapping, or they might like to play with their fingers a lot in a way and have a conversation and just do this as well. But this is just one of many, many things that they might do that's very different that we're not used to. But we can openly say, okay, this person is a little bit different than me. That's fine. It's more of understanding that that people with disabilities are completely different, and that it's very important for us to understand that and respect that. And that we're open to listening. We're open to listening to what people have to say, open to listening to different perspectives on this, and that we should be more patient and compassionate as people to listen to these kinds of things. I think that that's something that the world very much needs right now. We're in a very chaotic time, so I think that more compassion, more openness to listen to each other is something that we very much need. I've learned that from having my sister, and I think that she's made me honestly a much nicer person
Mhm.
because of how much of a sweet person she is and how much she tries. No matter, that's the thing that I openly love. And I've seen even in her classmates is that when they really want to tell you something, they're trying. Even if you can't understand, they're really, really trying to tell you something. And it's also you on your part to listen. That's the biggest thing. Just listen is a big thing that people should take away.
I definitely agree with that. Just listen. That's a really good point. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica. And definitely that book, I'm sure everybody needs to grab that book because I think that's a great, yes, 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 Luna.
Luna,
Sweet.
yes, Luna.
Luna, yes, Luna, C. I love it. And it definitely, definitely go on Amazon and grab it because it really is helpful. And thank you. Thank you so much for today. And it's just really, you're amazing. I love keep that passion and good luck with your speaking too in June. That's amazing.
Thank
Start
you.
and yeah, just keep going. Keep that passion. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
of course. And I will be having future projects if anyone's interested in talking with me or wanting to work with me or just wanting to know what's going on. I'm more than happy to stay in contact with anyone. I'm trying to make big moves, big things happen right now. So
Yep.
everyone should get in contact.
Definitely. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you have a fabulous day and just thank you again. And definitely, I'm gonna talk to everybody too about that book because I think a lot of people. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people myself with that have siblings with autism. That would be great because I know people just to like read and just to engage kids. I think it's really engaging in a fun way to get them to see. So that's awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Jessica. All right, take care. Just I wanna just